Hello wonderful people, it's Wild here and welcome back to part 4 of Building a Christmas Village series. In this video we're going to be creating a cozy village inn, and if you haven't seen the other videos, make sure you go check those out. This is a larger build, which means we'll have plenty of space to decorate several guest rooms. This build also uses some unusual blocks, so if you're having trouble getting anything, leave a comment down below and I'd be happy to offer substitutions. The materials you'll need for this build are on your screen now. Keep in mind that the listed number of roofing blocks here doesn't include the ones we'll be removing for snow, so make sure you grab a few extra of each supply. Here is the outline of our build. To balance out the complex roofline, we have a simple shape. It's simply a 15 by 9 rectangle, and the doors marked out there at the front. For this build, we're starting off with some strip spruce logs, building up 6 high in each corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm also going to be placing 2 more beams on the long side, so I'm counting 3 blocks across, and on the 4th block I'm adding another post. Just like that. Then we're going to take some more of these strip spruce logs and just connect all of these up around the edge. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the floor now with some spruce planks. Of course, in survival you could swap these spruce planks out for spruce slabs to save on resources. Now that we've got this in, this floor is going to have some interior rooms, so we're going to put in some posts to mark that out. I'm going to find the center of this short wall, so that's as the opposite wall to where the door is. I'm going to count 3 blocks in, and then on the 4th block I'm adding in a post. So that is going to be 3 blocks across this way and on the 4th block, and I'm going to build up 6 high. I'm then going to add in 1 in line with these 2 posts, and there should be a 5 block gap between, and let's check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Now we can go ahead and connect these up with some beams. Before we add in the walls, we need to mark in our doors and windows. So we're going to be having our front door here in the center of there. We're going to have a door on either side of the post in the interior. Then let's go to our windows. So I'm going to find the center of this largest wall, starting 1 up like this, and I'm going to build 2 to either side. I'm then going to add 1 on top of this, and then coming 1 in on either side, we're just creating this kind of shape for the window. I'm going to extend these out 1 to each side for where we're going to be having a decorative block. So we should be left with a shape like this. Round to this next side, we're going to have 2 windows. These are spaced 3 apart. So we can check there's 3 wide gap. Round on the back, we're going to have 2 windows again. They're both 1 apart from the posts. So there's a 5 wide gap between them. We have a window in here. And then just as on the other side, we're going to have 2 windows on this end as well, with a 3 wide gap between them. We're ready to start adding in the walls now. I'm going to be using a guide so that way we can place in the bone blocks for the base. So I'm just placing this along the edge of where our wall is going. We're going to work on the exterior 4 walls first. Then I'm going to grab out my bone blocks and I'm facing them so this circle is facing forwards. This is just going to add a subtle bit of decoration to the base of the build. Now that that's in, I can remove this layer here. We're going to work on adding in the bone blocks for the interior walls. So for this, I'm going to be creating an edge going around the outside of these posts. And I'm also going to be having a wall across here. So let's add in 3 wall blocks beside this door. So we've got our bone blocks going in this way, across this gap, 2 blocks here, and 3 here. Let's remove those red wool. Perfect! Now we're going to be filling in all of these walls using some mushroom stems. So working on the outside first, we're going right above each window. And you've got to be careful that if you place an extra block on here and remove it, it's going to reveal the interior texture. So you'll just need to replace that block. Once I've filled in all of this exterior wall, I'll come inside and we're just going to be stacking mushroom on top of anywhere where we have these bone blocks. So that's going to be along here and along this wall as well. So let's keep filling. Now that I've got all the walls in, you can see how great the mushroom block and the bone block look together. Now we're going to work on these windows. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the placeholder blocks for this large front window first. We're going in with some lime glazed terracotta and I'm going to be placing them to create a curved design. Now working with terracotta can be a bit tricky, but you can see how each time I'm placing it, I'm changing the direction I'm facing, and that's going to help me get it to curve differently each time. Let's see, this way? Nope. This way? Nope. Ah, there we go. So we've got two nice curves facing away from each other. We're going to fill this in next with some yellow stained glass panes, and this is going to add a lovely warm glow from all the light shining out from the inn. Just like this, and all of the windows on this build are going to be having the yellow stained glass panes, so let's replace these right now. Next we're going to remove the temporary blocks for the doors and add those in, including inside the build. Now I want to have it so my door handles are facing in towards the post here. There we go. While we're inside, I'm going to add a ladder going up this side of the wall. And we're going to work on the next story, and I've already placed some torches down below. I'm going to start by placing a post on top of each of these original posts. And I'm going to add another one in the center of the two shorter walls. Just like that. We're going to connect these up with mushroom stems. And on this wall where we have our ladder, I'll just bring the ladder up one higher. And then I'm going to fill in this whole floor with some spruce planks. Now that we've got that floor in, we're going to start making up all of the walls for this floor. We're going to start by coming to this mushroom block here, so that's beside this post. On the block beside that, I'm going to build up 5 high with spruce logs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to come to the other end and do the same thing. And there should be a 5-block gap between them. I'm going to have some logs connect these up at the base, as well as at the top. And I'm going to mark in my window while I'm at it. I'm going to create the same wall on the back side of the build. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're creating both the walls for the gables here and the dormer windows, while adding in the walls for the interior of the build. So now that we've got this in, I'm going to find the center of the build and line it up with these original posts and build up to the same height. I'm going to be having 2 doors, so let's add those in. They're going on either side of this post, but then we're going to add in some logs connecting up here and along the top edge. So it'll look like this. We're also going to be coming behind here. I'm going to count 3 blocks along, 1, 2, 3, and on that 4th block, I'm going to add in 1 more post. Let's connect this up here and at the base, and then along this wall. And you'll notice that these beams are right beside this window. Let's add in some small dormer windows next. So I'm going to come to this 3 wide gap and build up 4 high here and here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll place a log at the bottom and the top, and I'm placing 2 mushroom stems on top. We're also going to come behind here and add in a couple more logs, as well as a couple of mushroom stems. Next, I'm going to come back up to this section we've already created, and I'm going to add in a few more beams. One coming across here, and a small one connecting up these 2 logs. I'm going to grab some mushroom stems and add 2 to either side like this, so that way when we have our gable here and we add our roof in, we're not going to have any gaps in our walls. And speaking of, let's add in this gable. So I'm going to add a red wall placeholder block, you can use anything you'd like, and I'm just going to have the logs coming across this way, and I can remove that temporary block. I'm also going to mark in my window, which is too high and in the center. And we're going to be going up in layers of 2. So we've got 2 mushroom blocks, 2 mushroom blocks, and 2 mushroom blocks for the top, and I can remove those temporary blocks for the window, so our wall will look like this. Let's do this on the other end, and we're following the same shape, starting with our strip spruce logs, and they're just going 7 across. Then we've got our window and our walls. I'm also going to take these mushroom stems and fill in all the walls for this lower story. We're going to be adding another gable on top of here in a minute, but let's get these walls in first. Make sure you get these interior walls as well. And with these walls in, you can see that we're going to have 2 rooms. We've got our landing room up here, which we'll decorate as a communal space, and then we've got a small room here and a larger L-shaped room behind it. Next, I'm going to take some spruce slabs and fill in the gaps between all of these beams. For the windows on this story, we're just adding them right in the center like this. And then I'm going to have a layer of 1 mushroom stems, then a layer of 2, and another layer of 2 on top. And here's what it's looking like so far. Let's go ahead and add in our ladder to make moving around a bit easier, and that's just going up this post here. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and add in my doors. So we've got 1 door for each of these rooms. For the door for this side, I'm going to have it at the top, and I've got it placed from the interior of the room, so that way we have a small landing. I'm also going to go ahead and make sure I have all of these areas lit up nicely, because we'll be adding in the roof shortly. Let's come in here and add a few torches. And then I'm going to have some yellow stained glass panes for each window. So make sure you get all of the windows in the gables and these side walls. And don't forget to fill in this little window here on the small dormer. Before we add in the roof, we need to add in our chimney. So I'm coming to the back of the build here, and starting on this log here, we're going to place in 3 stone brick coming across. I'm then going to build 4 high in the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, creating an upside down T. Then we're going to go in with some stone brick stairs. 1 right way up, then 1 upside down, and I'm placing a stone brick on top of this. We've also got a couple of stone brick walls. Just 2 like that. I'm going to have a stone brick coming forward with 3 walls on top of that. 1, 2, 3. And then we've got a few more stairs. Like this. Next, we're coming behind this part of the chimney, and we're going to find this block here and start building up with the stone bricks 5 high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that should take us level with the top of these stairs. I'm going to come to the other side next and build up 7 high from the same point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's going to leave me 2 above that point. I'm going in with some stairs now. We've got 2 here. I'm going to add 2 blocks on top of this. 1, 2. And we're going to have 2 stairs here. And we're going to add 3 blocks on top of this. 1, 2, 3. I'm also going to come back down to this stair and add in a block. This is where we're going to add our 3 campfires, which I'll surround with some spruce trapdoors. Last but not least, we have a few walls to add in. So I'm going to come down to the base of this tower of the chimney, and I'm going to skip the bottom block and add in 3 walls. So none here. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to be placing in a stone brick so that it's level with this section of the gable wall. And I'm going to build up walls until I get to this stair here. It's time to start working on this roof. Now it's quite a complex design because we have the shape of this gable, joining on to this higher story here with the gable, which will then connect back up, and we have a smaller dormer window here, and we have to make room for this chimney as well. So we're just going to go layer by layer, working slowly to make sure we connect everything up and have no holes in our roof. I'm starting with a row of dark prismarine slabs along this base. And you can see that for all of our gables, we're going to be having a 1 block overhang, like this. The next layer is out of stairs, so we're going to go ahead and place these in. Then we're going to have a layer of blocks. And I'm going to make sure I come right underneath the chimney here. You can see how with a complicated roofline like this one, adding in the snow is a lot easier, because that means we don't have to think about randomizing as we go, and we can add in that texture afterwards. So I've gone in with another layer of stairs. Next we've got another layer of blocks, which again will come right underneath this chimney. We've got another layer of stairs now. And here is where I'm going to take a step back, and we're going to work on this next roof, because our stairs are going to curve right around here. Before we work up higher, I'm going to build up to this point on the front side of the build as well. So our next layer on the front is our stairs. We've got this small dormer window to watch out for. Then we've got a layer of blocks. A layer of stairs again. And you can see that we're just following the shape created by these gable outlines. Alright, now we have to watch out for this part of the build as well. So we've got stairs for this layer of the small dormer, but we've got blocks for this layer of this tall gable. So then we're going to join it up to the next layer of this. So we've got blocks and stairs. Let's go ahead and work on this side. So we've got our stairs for this layer, then we've got some blocks. We've got our stairs coming in here, and that's going to curve around for this gable, remember? And we've got to add in a few blocks for here, just like this. Now I'm going to add in a couple more stairs for this dormer window layer. And I'm going to jump back over to this side to make sure we're up to the same height. And let's take a step back. You can see how everything's starting to connect up now. Let's keep working. I'm going to add in my stairs coming out this way. And we're going to have another layer of stairs for this larger gable, which is going to connect up to a layer of blocks. So let's go ahead and add those blocks in. And then we've got stairs on this side as well. Let's come over and do this side. We've got our stairs, which will connect up to a layer of blocks. And where we have this small dormer, we're just going to have our small gap here for where that roof joins. Just like this. So we have another layer of blocks. In fact, it's too high for this layer for the very top of the dormer. And we need to connect up to this next section. So we've got stairs coming across here, which will connect up to a layer of blocks. And we need to put in the stairs here. And on this side as well. I'm going to be building up too high to finish off the top of this roof, so let's add those in. And I'm going to finish up here, and then I can add in the next layer for this taller gable. And let's swing around and work on this side for a minute. So we've got our stairs, which will join into some blocks. So when in doubt, remember that this roof is pretty much symmetrical, so you can check what you've already built and just follow along with the shape that we've created here with our walls. Then we've got too high for this section. And we're almost at the very top. So we've got another layer of blocks going in. And this can just go all the way across. Then we've got our layer of stairs. And our final 2 layers of blocks. Let's take a step back and have a look. It's always a good idea after you've finished a large roofing project like this one to have a look from all the angles and make sure there is no gaps. And I think we're good. It's time to start adding in some more details, starting with some strip spruce logs coming out of the top of each of our gables. I'm sticking them out 2 blocks here, so there is a 1 block overhang. And I'm even doing this small dormer. Then I'm going to add one to the top 2 blocks here, as well as the bottom 2 blocks. Let's do that on the other side. On this very large gable, we're going to add in a couple, one here and one here. And in fact, I'm going to take some slabs and just connect them along the base like this. Let's go do this on the other side as well. There we go. I'm going to come back to this small dormer and I'm going to place one in here and one in here, and I'm going to add in a slab as well that's going at the top. And while we're working on this roof, I'm going to take some dark prismarine stairs and I'm just placing them in between each of the joins in the roof. You can see how it gives it a much cleaner look. I'm also going to grab some of these strip spruce logs and I'm adding them at the base of each of these posts on the lower story. And I'm going to take a spruce stair and add them on top. Next, we're going to take some spruce trapdoors. We're going to add one above the stair as well as leaving a gap one up here, so you can see that's on the block below where we have these beams. And we're doing this all the way around the build. There we go. Then I'm going to come up here to this section and we're going to add in a couple of stairs. And we're also going to add in some trapdoors. They're going at the very top here. And I'm placing one around this corner as well, folding it down onto the post. Just like this. I'm also going to come over to this section here and we're going to be adding some spruce slabs for the window to frame. Then we're going to add some mangrove trapdoors as some window shutters. And so that completes that window decor. And I'm going to add a spruce fence up the top here. Now let's go complete this decoration around in the back. Starting with our stairs and our trapdoors. While we're here, let's add in the window decorations to these 2 windows. Starting with some spruce slabs along the base here. We're also going to create a small archway. I'm going to use some mangrove trapdoors for window shutters, just like this. And then we'll come up and work on this window. For this window, we're just going to have slabs across the bottom and then the trapdoor window shutters. And then at the top, I'm going to add a stair underneath here. Let's go ahead and add these window decorations to the other side as well. If you'd like to access world downloads for this or any of my other builds, check out Patreon. You can also join a multi-world server and build alongside me and some other great Minecrafters. We're going to be creating this same window design around on these 2 large gables as well, and we're going to use the same design down on the lower story for all of those 1 wide windows. So let's go ahead and add this everywhere we need to. While I'm up here in these larger gables, I'm going to add a stair beneath here as well to tie in with those other ones. We want everything to feel cohesive here, Now adding these stairs can be a little bit troublesome. To get them to place in the right angle, I find flipping down these trapdoors and then clicking on the back bottom corner of the block you're placing them on really helps. Okay, so there's that design. Let's come around and do the other side and keep working on all of these windows. And down here. Now that all of these windows are decorated, we need to decorate this large front window. We're going to start by adding some mangrove trapdoors in front of the lime terracotta on either side. Then we're going to create an archway over the top, so I'm starting with a stripped spruce log, then we're going to have 2 sets of spruce slabs on either side, and then a stair. And look at that lovely arch shape. Along the bottom, we're going to have a stripped spruce log with 2 stairs on either side and 2 slabs on either side of that. We're going to add some fences up the center, and then we've got some trapdoors. 2 here and 2 here, creating a lovely frame like this. While we're down here, let's work on the doorway decoration. We're simply going to have 2 fences on either side, and then we're going to create an archway. There we go. Now we've got all of these spruce decorations in, we can start adding in some spruce leaf garlands. Let's start along the front. We're just creating little swags like this. Now to go over the top of this window, we're going to have 3 along here, and then we'll swoop it back down and come back up. Coming around to the side now, we're just going to have 2 swoops. And I'm going to add 1 to here and 1 to here. Around to the back, we'll do the same as on the front, just to make sure it all matches. And again on the side, 2 swoops. Let's add in a few more up here. Then around on this side, we're going to have a couple. We've got 2 here and there, and then 1 above this window. And around at the front, let's do the same thing. And then we're going to go in with some more mangrove trapdoors. These are going to act as bows. So we have 1 at the top of each swoop and above this 3 wide section just in the center there. And we're doing the same on the sides, placing them in the top section of each swoop. We're going to be adding some glow item frames with different colored ornaments along here. But before we do that, let's add in some snow. What I'm going to do is follow the process of placing in a few snow blocks like this, just kind of randomly on the roof. I like to keep them clustered in the joins between the different gables and around the chimney. And once I've got a few in for a layer, like I've got here, I can go in with some snow and pile it up to add more texture. Where we've got flat sections like this, we can add some snow on top as well. And I'm going to make sure I have it going around the window frames too. So let's go ahead and add lots of snow and really make it look like this house has been through a blizzard. Alright, I'm just adding the finishing detail now. My sign for the magic reindeer inn. Let's take a step back and see what else I've added. You can see that I've used concrete to create decorations along my garland, and I've used a mixture of colour here for a really fun vibe. I've also placed some pot plants in each window with flowers that match the colours in my garland. As well as this, I've added a few lanterns hanging from each gable to add a bit of illumination, and the whole build has a really striking appearance. One thing to keep in mind is that by placing a tall build like this one in the centre of the village, it creates a layered effect when you look from the front. If we come over here, you can see that its chimney and the tops of its rooftop pop up above the rooftops of all the other builds, so that way it makes your town feel really full. So now we have a cozy place to stay in our Christmas village. We've got a few more buildings to add, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out. If you enjoyed today's video, I'd really appreciate a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy holidays!